Oh, hey, today I'm going to be talking about what winning a ring would do for the Thunder's players' legacies, what happens if certain players win rings, etc. If you've seen my past videos, you already kind of know how this goes. I'm not going to be talking about the deep cuts. I'm not going to be talking about the deep bench players, some rotational players. Okay, that's just how it is. Starting off, we got I don't even want to say his fucking name. All right, we're 2 games into the Wolves series. We got Shy. We're 2 games into the Wolves series. I've been putting this video off. I'm not gonna lie. I have been fucking putting this video off. Trying not to jinx this shit. Trying not to speak the Thunder into existence of even in the realm of possibility of winning a fucking ring. But here we are. The Thunder are up 2-0 on the Timberwolves. This is the day after game 2. This is when I'm recording it. All right, much pain in my voice. So anyways, what a ring would do for Shy's legacy, man. Okay, let me tell you. What a fucking ring for this guy's legacy. Dude, he's top 10 shooting guard all time. I don't care. If he wins a ring, I do not care at this point. He's a fucking top 10 shooting guard of all time. Winning a ring, presumably a finals MVP, first team All NBA. Okay, all in the same fucking season at age 26. You are not, he's not the face of the NBA. But him winning a ring, it'd be hard pressed not to make him the face of the NBA, even if he has the flops. Okay, he has the foul baiting. It would be hard pressed not to make him the face of the league. Like I've said in my previous videos, the face of the league discussion is fucking annoying. Okay, we do not care. We are all done with the face of the league talks. We do not give a shit who is the face of the league. We just want good hoops. That is it. All right. Shy, unfortunately, is not good hoops. He just isn't. Shy is not good hoops, man. I am literally ripping out the Wolves bias from my chest. I am completely removing the last 2 games from my memory. Shy is not good hoops. I don't care. To the casual fan, the foul baiting, his faces, it gets fucking ridiculous. It's egregious. Okay? It really is. At the prime peak, I don't know how many people were on Twitter back in prime fucking Harden foul baiting era. Okay? Because you have it now with Luka. LeBron was a little bit back in the day. Like, not as bad, obviously. People want to make it seem like LeBron's a foul baiter. But, dude, I'm telling you right now, the James Harden, the prime foul baiting of James fucking Harden, man, that was a spectacle in itself. I don't think Shy's to that level yet of negativity, but winning a ring sure does boost him up there. It might put him past it. It really might. Harden altogether was just, he's a better all-time player right now, obviously. And peak for peak, Harden is probably the better offensive player. Like, he just is. His playmaking, his scoring. Shy's not going to fucking average 38 a game, okay, for a season, a.k.a. James fucking Harden, in prime foul baiting era of James Harden, all right? But if he does win a ring, like I said, even if he does, he's not above James Harden yet. Presumably, if his career still pans out the way it does and is going, he's going to be above James Harden, bro. It's going to be gross, and James Harden's the second greatest shooting guard of all time. Okay, no, he's not. Third greatest shooting guard of all time. He's above Dwayne Wade. I don't give a fuck. Shy could potentially. I don't even want to say it. He could potentially be better than Kobe of all time, bro. We're fast tracking 20 years in the fucking future, bro. He's 26. Dynasties don't happen in the modern NBA, or they don't happen for the past 7 fucking years. They just don't because of the new CBA and the rules and etc. The Thunder have a young-ass core. I don't know how they're going to pay him all, but if he wins a ring now, he is 26. In the next 10 years, he is, honestly, if I were a betting man, I would bet Shy wins 2 rings. At least 2 rings in his career. And that, I don't care. That is a discussion to be had. If he continues his fucking career, man, he's obviously would be better than James Harden. I know Wade has 3 rings, but peak for peak, Harden's better than Wade, even if Wade played defense much better than Harden. Okay, I'm getting completely fucking sidetracked. All right, Shai winning a ring, the discourse, like I said, the discourse for all these players if they win a ring is going to be grimy, but it's going to be, honestly, I'm not going to say a negative impact if Shai wins a ring, more or less a negative impact on the NBA if he wins a ring. I do think ratings would take a slight hit. It already took a hit in the Wolves game. Game 1 was the least watched Western Conference game since 2020, or I meant 2021, I'm pretty sure. Or it could have been past that. I seen a tweet saying it was the least watched Game 1 Western Conference Finals since blank, and it was a few years back. So, and Ant's a big draw. Ant's a big name. He's a good pull. Shai, for how good he is, and being the MVP, and being so consistent offensively, he's not drawing people in. No one's like, yes, let me come and watch a Shai game. Oh, look, he's at the free throw line. Oh, look, another foul. Oh, look, he's at the free throw line fucking again. Okay? No one wants to tune into that shit. At least Harden, he was fun to watch on offense. He was genuinely fun to watch. Okay? He was kind of a clip farmer. He really was. Shai is not a fucking clip farmer. He clip farms for 3 free throws. So, him winning a ring, obviously, it boosts him up very, very, very high all time. Like, very high. Not a lot of people have an MVP, finals MVP, and a finals ring all in the same fucking year. Not a lot of players have that shit, man. And if it happens, Shai's going to be in some crazy conversations. They might push his ass to Dwayne Wade conversations. Like, seriously. Because the more years go by, the less rings really matter for your all-time status. Like, genuinely, that's just how it is. Rings should not be held as the golden standard of where you are ranked all time. They really shouldn't. It's a poor argument. It was easier to win rings back in the day. Mic drop. Okay. So, Shai winning a ring, he's going to be bumped up very, very, very high all time. Currently, he's top 3-2 player. I don't know. I still think Jokic is the best player of all time. Off record. Or not all time. What the fuck am I saying? Jokic is the best player currently. Off record. Shai is probably second. Okay. And I will say, once again, this is supposed to be a Shai discussion right now. God damn it, Jokic should have won MVP. Okay? I'm just going to leave it at that. But Shai winning a ring, he has won the MVP. It's a done deal. It's on his basketball reference. If he wins a ring, a lot of people are going to be upset, but there is narrative to be had where he ranks. There really fucking is. Like, there really is. He's only 26, which is crazy. He's averaged over 30 the last 3 years. He finished second in MVP last year, or third. The last 3 years, he's finished top 6 in the MVP voting. Like, I'm pretty sure he finished second last year. Okay? Finishing that high in multiple years, and he finally won it, that sounds a lot like someone I said earlier. James Harden, perchance? He kept finishing second, third, and then eventually won it. Okay? He was a lot older than Shai when he won it. I'm telling you, if Shai wins a ring, it would be cool, okay? Fuck all the other stuff. It would be cool just because it was kind of the changing of the guard. You went from MJ to Kobe, to Kobe to Wade, to Wade to Harden, to Harden to Shai. That's a pretty fucking linear shooting guard status of all time. Like, that really is. You don't really have that. So it'd be pretty fucking cool, okay? It really would be. I wish Harden would have won a ring. He still maybe can squeak one out. Who knows? But Shai winning a ring is the next guy in line. Even if he doesn't win a ring, he really presumably is the next guy in line in that shooting guard lineage that I just mentioned. And people are going to push him probably top 7. I don't, like, is he better than Ray Allen? Yeah. honestly, he's better than Ray Allen all time if he wins a ring, man. I'm sorry. Trying to think, like Tracy McGrady, yeah. Who are some other shooting guards? Like, I'm really Klay Thompson, yeah. Like, he's an MVP, guys. He's averaged 30 for the last 3 years. An MVP, a ring, Finals MVP, first team All NBA. Like, and he is still so young. So, Shai winning a ring is going to get bumped up very, very, very high. At least in my opinion, I think that's what the discussion will be around Shai if he wins a ring this year. Enough talk about Shai. I went on for 10 minutes. I could probably keep going on about how high he could potentially jump winning a ring. Moving on, we got Jalen Williams. He's the next Paul George. All right? Him winning a ring is essentially Paul George winning a fucking ring when Paul George was so young in the league. And he is going to be that next tier. I won't even say prime Paul George is a tier 2 shooting guard, but like out of the tier 1 shooting guards, he's a tier 2. If you broke up the tier 1 shooting guards in their primes of the last 10, 15 years, you'd have LeBron, KD, Kawhi. Okay? Going off my memory, just quickly shooting off names. Kawhi, LeBron, KD. In the tier 2, you'd have that Paul George, the Jimmy Butlers, and so forth. I think that's where Williams will probably reside in his career. I can't really ever see Williams being the guy or being a top 10 guy, top 5 guy in the NBA like those other 3 small forwards. Paul George was a top 10 to 15 to 20 guy pretty comfortably most of his career, besides the last year or two. Like, he was that guy in Indiana and on Oklahoma City Thunder. He finished second or third in MVP. So, who knows? Williams could have it. Like I said, Williams could have a crazy jump like that. Who knows? Okay? He's still so young. He's only 24. The sky's the limit. Him winning a ring would just he'd get over the hump so early to where, like I said, the rest of the dominoes fall throughout his career. He could be put in some crazy conversations if he keeps performing the way he does at the end of his career. Looking back, it'd be like, damn, he won a ring on top of, and then look what he accomplished. Like, it's not like he got carried to a ring either. He was the second option on a team that won a ring, okay, at such a young age. So he has so much more time to improve on his game. I really can see Williams, J-Dub, being in that tier 2 of tier 1 small forwards. I really could, like just spitballing. He's probably better than like a Gordon Hayward. Like, he's above that tier, or he will be above that tier. I'm trying to think of like other shooting guards but I really think like the Paul George, the Jimmy Butler tier, that tier 2 is like he could be a top, maybe make a push for like the 10th best player to like anywhere from like maybe 10 to 25 in the near future. He's not there yet, but in the near future, I could see him making that push and staying there for a while, and him winning a ring would just cement him there. It cements his legacy already as such a good young good young player with a very high future. Granted, Shai is the team. Having Shai, having the MVP helps you tremendously, but J-Dub is good all in his own right. Being the second option, it takes a lot to be the second option, man. It really does. He was a first-time All-Star this year. Like, you don't just walk into being an All-Star, okay? So that's where I see him winning a ring. He gets kind of pushed. He could take another big jump next year. Say he averages 25 next year. He averaged 22 this year. He averages 25 next year. He's really in them tier 2 shooting, small forward shooting guard conversations. He really is. So he'd be a top 25 player if he makes that jump in points per game. All his stats kind of tick up, and he wins that ring. He has that just push. He could be. He is a top 25 player next year, going into next year if he wins a ring. Okay, kind of like Jaylen Brown. I'd say he's never going to be a tier 1 shooting guard or small forward shooting guard. That is a perfect example of where I could see J-Dub falling into a Jaylen Brown type, tier 2 of the tier 1s. I think, okay, that's honestly a pretty fucking good comparison. I just pulled that out of my goddamn ass. All right, moving on. Chet Holmgren, the Minnesota guy, Oh man, that's the only reason I fucking want the Thunder. If I was ever to root for the Thunder, this is the only reason why, man. Minnesota fucking heritage. Putting on for Minnesota, alright? I watched this dude hoop at Minnehaha against Brownie. We've been there day one. Okay, Chet Holmgren. I'd be happy for him. It would be really cool to see him win a ring. Okay? It really would be. People were wishy-washy on how good he really would be in the NBA, on how good his defense would translate, because he's a fucking monster on defense in college and high school. Like, he was a monster. And he goes second to the Thunder. He gets hurt his rookie year. He missed the entire season. He played Summer League, but he missed the entire season because he broke his foot in a Drew League game, I'm pretty sure. It was his foot. But then it was, oh, damn, this dude's too small to play in the NBA. His defense is not going to hold up if he's, getting hurt this easily, missing the whole year, etc. He proved a lot of motherfuckers wrong. And I could really see Chet being an all-star player. I could see him, honestly, being the second best player on the Thunder. His defense is just that goddamn good. And if he just keeps progressing, his game just keeps progressing, because he is still so goddamn young. He just turned 23. All right? Dude, he's 23. J-Dub is 24. Shai is 26. That's fucking crazy. There's like one of two ways I could see Chet going. Winning a ring, obviously, he could be the second best player on the Thunder and be one of the top tier guys in the NBA, a really good two-way player, kind of like a KG-esque that's undermining KG. I'll say Celtics KG, okay? I don't think he'll be Wolves KG. I could see Chet Holmgren's career one of two ways. Celtics KG, which is still very, very good. DPOY, won a ring, second or third option, very high-level defense. Not the number one guy on offense, not even the number two, but does all the little things. I think that's a really good comparison for his peak. I really could see Chet Holmgren falling into the Celtics KG. Once again, not a diss at all. Like, at all, okay? Or he could, it's different, but still the same, but different, okay? Draymond Green. I could see Chet Holmgren going into the Draymond Green where he is just, or like Al Horford's, where he's the glue guy that kind of does everything and you just need him. I don't think KG was that, but wasn't. He was the defensive anchor. He could get you a bucket. If Chet Holmgren doesn't really progress his offensive game, he could be that, just have that Draymond role. He'll be a better scorer than Draymond. It's not that hard to be a better scorer than Draymond, but his defense is his defense is like that, my guy, okay? He could just be that crazy glue guy, one of the best glue guys of all time, third options of all time, that does everything so well at such a high level for this team. And, he could, like I said, I really think those are the two pathways where I see Chet Holmgren. I honestly could see him I'm leaning more towards the Celtics KG, and if he wins a ring, it's just too perfect of a comparison for Chet. And given the role KG had on the Celtics, given the role Chet has on the Thunder, I really think that's the way I'm leaning. And if he wins a ring, man, bro, his future, Chet's future is sky high. If I'm the Thunder, you really do build around Shai and Chet. J-Dub is really, really, really good, but if one of the three were expendable, it is J-Dub. I don't care. You want to have Chet. Chet is just that guy that makes it all work out. He can help you. He'll carry your defense, okay? Assuming he does not get hurt. Assuming he fills out his frame just a little more, and not that I'm saying he's that injury prone, because he kind of is. I mean, he missed all of his rookie year. He missed most of this year, okay? You see, he only played 32 games this year. So, barring injury, Chet's going to be really, really good for... I don't see him having that long of a career just because of his frame and the injury concern and the history of his injuries. But him winning a ring... he's taken that torch of just like obviously Shai is you got the KD, the Westbrook, the Shai. Chet's that next guy. Like, he really is. I just called J-Dub the Paul George, but he'd be in that similar boat to where he'd obviously be a Thunder legend if he won a ring. He'd be their first ring, Chet. But he would be, honestly, if he wins a ring, he'd be one of the more low-key, underrated players on a title team, or underrated players that was like an all-star, all-NBA defensive team player. I could see him going down as one of the more underrated players of all time. That you're like, damn, he won a ring and he's this good. Like, but he doesn't get talked about enough, whether that's because he doesn't play a lot, barring injury and whatnot. But I really think Chet, that's kind of where Chet would fall. I don't think he's going to be a superstar or anything, or be the second best player on a team, just because he's not a scorer. I could see him being the second best player on a team. Like, he would be the second best player or the best player on some shitty ass teams, like, obviously, but on a championship team, I don't think he'll ever be the second best player. But yeah, man, I just think if, he wins a ring, it's going to go not swept under the rug, but just low key that people forget he won a ring, and he's just so good at being a very high level third option. And just that Celtics KG. That's all I think about. I just think of that Celtics KG. Okay? That's where I see Chet Holmgren, where his career kind of plays out. Even if he wins a ring. Just a very underrated, slept-on player. Okay? All right, moving on. We got 3 more. It's going to be a long video. I yap a lot, man. These next 2 will be fairly quick. Caruso winning his second ring, coming over his first year in OKC, helping him win a ring, playing at an all-defensive type level, even if he plays like a fucking linebacker, okay? Caruso and Hartenstein are the pieces that made this team work and be a championship caliber team. They are the pieces that made this team take the jump. They were already pretty good last year, but no one really expected them to win the title or get into the conference finals. But you make the moves for Hartenstein and Caruso, and the defense of Caruso, it shows. The defense of the Thunder, it shows. Caruso, I wouldn't say he's the heart and soul, but god damn it, he is right neck and neck with being the heart and soul of that defense. He really is, man. Even if he gets away with some fucking fouls, okay? I will say. All right? Like, they let him and Dort guard some players crazily. They really do, but he is such an underrated part, and he does not get talked about enough about the jump the Thunder have made and the reason why the Thunder have made the jump. He's a big part of that. He really is a huge part of that. Huge part of that. And it's just not talked about enough. So if he wins a ring, give Caruso his flowers. He's kind of like, it's like if Pat Bev was better and Pat Bev went to the Wolves and they won a ring that year. Like, he changed the culture. I'm not saying Caruso really changed the Thunder culture, but he just kind of changed it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, Pat Bev changed the fucking Minnesota culture. He really did. Caruso, I wouldn't say he changed the Thunder culture because they were already pretty good last year, but he just changed it enough to where they're like a championship level team. He brought in the championship DNA. He has won a championship. He's an all-defensive player. Like, that's a crazy player to just add to your team that was already having playoff expectations, championship expectations in mind. So to add a player like that, crazy, 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 man. All right, last player I'm going to talk about, bro. If this man wins a fucking ring, this goddamn Ray Lewis wins a fucking ring, dude, I'm telling you right now, they will retire Dort's fucking number. That's what crazy. They are gonna, it is literally a lock. I would bet my fucking savings that this guy's number 5, will be retired if he wins a ring. Dude, they retired Nick Collison's fucking jersey number. Nick Collison. He has never made an all-star team. Never. You go onto his page on Basketball Reference and adjust his goddamn Thunder jersey, where all the accolades would be. He has never averaged double-digit points in a game, and his jersey is retired. If Dort plays another 7 years, 5 years for the Thunder, he will get his number 5 jersey retired. Honestly, if he wins a ring or not. Like, he'll just be a long tenured Thunder player and say, you know what, fuck it. He helped us be really good. Like, he's a starter. He has all defensive potential. Like, he should be probably on the should have been on the all defensive team this year. I don't care, but if he plays like a fucking maniac sometimes, like the Tasmanian Devil, that should be his nickname, the fucking Tasmanian Devil. Even though the torture chamber is fire, he's literally the Tasmanian fucking Devil on defense, okay? And if he wins a ring, dude, they are building Dort a statue. They are retiring his jersey, and it's going to be fucking batshit crazy. Like, that's just, I'm telling you guys right now, his legacy as a Thunder is going to go through the fucking roof. You're like, why did you add Dort? I'm telling you, his legacy is going to go through the fucking roof if this man wins a ring. He is going to get a statue out of the OKC Thunder's stadium. He will get his jersey retired. We will all be at the Luguentz Dort jersey retirement game, seeing that shit hang in the rafters. We will all be there watching that shit in 15 years, in 20 years. We are all going to be at the Dort retirement game, jersey retirement game. All right? That's just what it's going to be if he wins a ring. You can book those two things, a statue and a jersey retirement. You can book those two things. All right? Moving on. Last one. Sam Presti, bro. Master fucking class, dude. Master fucking class. Hall of Famer, if not already. Him winning a ring. Him building another unstoppable fucking Thunder team after taking over in the first couple years, or the last year of Seattle, taking over, drafting Durant, drafting Westbrook, drafting Harden, drafting Chet Holmgren, drafting J-Dub, making all those trades, trading for Shai. Dude, he might be a top 5 fucking, even if he only has one ring at the end of his career, he might be a top 5, like, whatever the fuck he is. I'm blanking right now. Executive. Genuinely, even if he doesn't have the rings to back it up, dude, the moves, the fucking draft picks this guy makes, the fucking moves he makes is crazy. And if he honestly is the most deserving player to win a ring, even if he's a fucking pick demon, a pick whore, and hoards them bitches, he really does deserve a ring after the teams he built for the Thunder, after all the players he brought in, the MVPs. He's had 3 MVPs in his run as an executive. 3! And they're not just like one-off MVPs. They are all-time greats. Kevin Durant, an all-time great. Russell Westbrook, an all-time great. James Harden. I mean, he didn't win an MVP with the Thunder. That's 4. 4 MVPs he's had. Even if Harden was a 6-man. You know? And, you know, the what if they didn't trade Harden, who cares? You still took Harden. He still drafted Harden. They went to the finals with a young Harden, young Durant, and young Westbrook. Okay? And now they're 2 games away from the finals again with a young Chet, a young J-Dub, and a young Shai. Dude, this man deserves all the praise. And if anyone on the Thunder really, truly deserves to win a ring, it's Sam Presti. Dude, like, they still have a fuck ton of picks. They really could. Like I said, teams don't have dynasties currently, or in the foreseeable future, or in the past 7-8 years, teams just don't have dynasties. Teams don't go back to back. The Thunder really fucking could. If they hit the head on these picks, whether they trade them for a haul, whether they stick and pick, and they hit like they've been hitting. They picked like 14th overall last year. They had a lottery pick last year because it was another team's pick, and the rookie didn't even fucking play all year. Like, you know how crazy that is to have a lottery pick that didn't even play all year, and you're 2 games away from the finals, and they have how many picks in the next 5-6 years? Like 20 plus? That's ridiculous. So Sam Presti deserves all the flowers. His legacy would honestly probably change. Besides Shai, realistically, Presti's legacy would be hit the hardest in obviously a positive way, just because he finally got over the hump. He finally fucking won a ring with the Thunder after building these rosters. He went through the young Harden the young Durant, Westbrook, Ibaka, to the Durant and Westbrook, MVPs, to the Westbrook, Paul George, to the Shai and Chet and J-Dub. Now, like, that level of excellence and level of roster management, team building, it's fucking crazy, man. You wish your team had this motherfucker. You just wish your team had him, or had the level of consistency the teams have had that he's built for the Thunder, even if they haven't won a ring. It's got to be fucking exciting to be a Thunder fan. Like, it genuinely, try being a fucking Timberwolves fan the same. Let's look back since 2007 and 2008 and try to be a fucking Timberwolves fan. Neither team has won a ring. I bet you'd be a lot more excited to be a Thunders fan, even if neither team won a fucking ring, okay? So, he's built great rosters, great teams, all-time teams, and he has the potential to win a ring. He'd go down as a top 5 executive all time. I don't care. Even if it's only one ring, he really fucking would be. And I know no one's having executive talks. Like, who's the best fucking executive, man? Who built the best fucking roster in NBA history, man? No one's having those talks. But if there ever was those goddamn talks, you bet your fucking ass Sam Presti's up there, man. You bet your ass if they win a ring, he's up there. He might be pushing top 3. Okay? I rest my case. If you watch the whole video, let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you think people's legacies would change. This is the last installment of this mini series. Okay? I'm only doing the teams in the conference finals. The Knicks, Pacers, Timberwolves, Thunder. So let me know what you guys think. If you disagree, agree with what I'm saying on any of the players, if a player I missed or didn't put in, include, how you think. Let me know how you think Isaiah Hartenstein, Isaiah Joe's, okay, legacy changes after winning a ring. If you watched the whole thing, thank you. I appreciate you. Love you. I'll see you in the next one.